That is a glare in my eyeglasses. Okay, I'll take them off. Figure out how to fix that later. So, today I want to speak about when do you know when it's okay to quit and go a different direction? How do you know when it's time to pivot? I guess for every person is an inner choice, subjective choice that they have to figure out and make. I guess I'm really tired because I feel my body just want to be like, is it okay if I do the YouTube video like this? How do you know when it's time to quit? I've been doing this, a specific thing for a while now, wondering like, I keep trying to make it work. I keep trying to make it work, and it's not working. It seemed like the things are not lining up for it to happen, and I don't know that I would want to use the energy to push through. I really don't. It's one thing when you feel like the universe and nature and everything is lining up for whatever goal or desire to, so that outcome can come into fruition, right? There's another thing if it looks like absolutely everything is saying no, don't go in that direction. And am I sensitive enough to listen to that and not too proud to just like let go? You know, um, we'll see. It's weird, like because I'm so far beyond the place of needing to figure out what I want to do with my life. Right? I know what I want to do is travel the world, write poetry, share poetry, read poetry. Um, I just enjoy that certain kinds of poetry that just hit me. That's sort of this mixture of like ineffable while pointing at something that is surprising and shocking to the mind, vulnerable, authentic, real, all those kind of things. Um, I love talking about creativity and consciousness and my mom, my family, and my specific perspective in the world, and just sort of allowing all that to filter through this art form, which is poetry. I love studying things about consciousness and human potential from religions to traditions, Bhagavad Gita, Bible, um, other religious texts here and there. Yeah, throughout my life, I love a lot of different things when it comes to mystery schools and how those things play and intersect in all our lives. Yeah, even when it comes to like what I'm doing here now with this idea of leisure and ink or consciousness, creativity, human potential, poetry, my daily vlog, all those things. I'm just looking for like some nexus point, some outlet to like share. And it was a workshop I think last year where I first heard this idea that like for an artist, right, whether it's a poem or a piece of music or sculpture, um, when they finish the poem or finish the music or finish the sculpture, that's not when the creation of that piece is done. The creation of that piece is done once the observer or the person receiving that art or you know connecting with that piece has their experience with it. I really like that idea. I before I went to this MFA program and I was uh, learning about all kinds of poetry and stuff like that, and the relationship between the creator and the created, and the observer and observed, and all these dynamics that play when someone is creating. My relationship with my art was just me and my art, and I was my number one fan, and I wrote for myself. And I think I still write for myself. Somehow it feels like but the audience have become a part of my process. Not during the work, not before the work starts, but once I've completed my end of it, it's like the audience or whoever reads it or engages with it comes in and completes the other half of that work or part of that work that I'll probably, some of it I will never see or never know what happened. The art will take its own shape, become its own entity, and people will engage with it based on their specific reference point in space and time, their specific lens of conditioned ways of being or levels of expression and perception. It's now a relationship between them and that piece. I I respect that now. I honor that, and I look at that as part of like um, not just me, but this collective we when it comes to creating art, when it comes to engaging in conversation, when it comes to even things like this video. There's me trying to show up completely self-expressed and authentic, and then there is the viewer on the other side engaging with the end product of this and sort of making their own thing out of it, getting what they need from it. Um, yeah, where was I going with all of that? I have no idea. I think I'm basically just speaking about my process and leaning more into this idea of like creative outlet, creative space. I had this huge idea that like, yo, I want this concept to come together of leisure and ink and business acumen and creative process and this wisdom that I know one dimension can get from the other and create something uniquely um, powerful um, in the world. And while that still is a possibility in the case, I'm realizing that like this outlet, Leisure and Ink, as well as my other company, Yoshir 3476 Inc., these are passion projects that have all to do with creative self-expression and consciousness, creativity, and these things is sort of like an outlet for those things to kind of pour out into the world, but it has to be invited, you know. I'm going to show up, keep working on my gift, and allow people to take what I create and have the experience they need to have with it, or the one that they will have with it. Whether they need it or not is a different question, a different story. Um, yeah, but I know that like there's a beauty and a power being able to sit in your unique self-expression and speak from there and create from there, and then allow yourself to be seen and invited in from that space. And I enjoy that. I enjoy showing up fully to my art, and I approach life as an art, you know? Yeah. There are people who refer to me as a free spirit, and that might be true. But what feels more honest for me to say is that like I approach life as an artist. Like every part of what I'm doing for me is poetry. the tragedy, the love affairs, the the ineffable, all of those things. I'm sort of surfing life in those ways. That's 10 minutes. Okay. Anything else that I want to say about creativity, my mission, Leisure and Ink, um, showing up consistently, doing this, getting more and more comfortable with the camera in my face and speaking and just saying like what's on my heart. Yeah, it's something about this, like continually showing up and being consistent for this that like um, is nourishing. So I hope it's also nourishing for others and not just me. Okay.